A cheerful good morning and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you present today in the GK class. Once again, I welcome you back. Before starting with today's class, again I would like to discuss over the same issues which we are continuously discussing over the past few months. That is this COVID-19, which is the pandemic situation created by this virus. Okay, as if you would have gone through the newspapers or any of the news headlines in the television or on the YouTube or anywhere else, you must have observed, if you are going through it, or otherwise I'm informing you the same thing, that is per day, that is like today only there was 90 new cases have been reported in Varanasi. Okay, so per day there is fluctuation in the number of COVID cases. That is, some days it is increasing to a greater extent, on other day it is declining to a greater extent. So in this way, we cannot be pretty sure regarding this, in spite of the vaccine which has been made, successfully trialed, and now it is being going to be provided to us as well, but still we are not sure enough, or we must take all the precautions, so that until and unless we get vaccinated, okay, we have to take all the necessary precautions. That is basically the two things, that is using the mask, social distancing, as well as washing your hands and your face regularly after a regular interval of time, especially whenever you are returning from anywhere outside. So starting with today's class, the very first thing I would like to share that what are the things which we are going to do. Okay, before starting with the class, I told you that since I have introduced a new thing, that is solving some of the questions related to your reasoning, simplification, or anything like that, but the number of students who have participated in the last class was very less, which is below my expectation, because I expected nearly 30 to 40% of the students out of the entire 4 branches to have maximum participation, but I did not receive that. So I request you as well to please take care of this thing, that is whatever the questions are being provided to you, please try to solve it. It is going to benefit you only. Like sometimes Ramanujan Olympiad is there, or some other competitions are there. So when you are going to participate in that, you will be coming across some these kinds of questions, and if you will be habitual of this thing, so it will become much more easy for you to solve it. Okay, so without wasting the time, let me first show you the syllabus, and thereafter we will be going ahead with the bookish part. Okay, so this is our syllabus part, in which we are doing periodic test 2, that is a portion of the annual course. What I remember is that in the last class we have completed this page number 44 and page number 50 of science and technology. This one, these two page numbers have been completed in the last class. So today we are going to first start with arts and literature, page number 45, and thereafter we will be going ahead with page number 51 and others. Okay, so let us start with page number 45 without any delay, so that we will be able to have the questions and everything in a proper manner. 45. Okay. So this is your page number 45 related to your art gallery. That is why it is coming under the section of your art and literature. Okay. So art, basically, as per my knowledge, what I have observed is that is art can be learned. Okay, it is no doubt in that. That is, we can learn how to draw the art, or we can just become artist over a duration of time by practicing it regularly. But basically you will find that most of the artists they are born by naturally only. Okay, because learning art is something different, but having the knowledge or the creativity or the skill of drawing in your hands, this is something which is natural and which is there by birth only. You must be able to observe in your class as well, some of the students, though they are very small, but they are able to draw the drawings very accurately, very precisely, as compared to you or as compared to other students. Okay, so they are having that talent, they are able to utilize it, and this is something by birth, what I think. This is my opinion. Moving ahead with this, so we have, that is, match the paintings to their painters by writing the correct letters in the boxes. Okay, so first we have, that is the sunflower, that is on this side we have all the names of the paintings, whereas these are the famous painters. Starting with this sunflower, when we are talking about, so sunflower is the painting which has been painted by the famous painter Vincent van Gogh. And not only this, these are one of their paintings, and apart from these paintings, many other paintings are there which have been painted or drawn by them, but still some of them, they have gained much more attention as compared to others. Okay, so he is the person, Vincent van Gogh. Next one we have the Guernica. Okay, Guernica. Okay, I hope this is the only correct pronunciation. Okay, Guernica. So this is being painted by that is your Pablo Picasso. Okay, the famous painter. Next we have the Shakuntala. Okay, that is being painted by Raja Ravi Verma. Okay, now if you see, I don't think here it is the spelling mistake, but mostly you will find that in Verma you have Verma, but here in the case of Raja, this painter, so you have here Varma. Okay, so Raja Ravi Verma is the famous painter of Shakuntala. Moving ahead with next, we have Mona Lisa, that is painted by the famous painter, that is your Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, F part. Water Lilies at Giverny or Giverny. Okay, B, that is by Claude Monet. Okay, and the last one we have the Persistence of Memory, which has been painted by Salvador Dali. Okay, or Dali, most probably Dali only. Next we have, find the names of these Indian painters in the word grid. Some letters in the names are missing. Okay, now if you try to observe one more thing, that is, except for few, like most probably this one, okay, Raja Ravi, or I don't think apart from him, none of them, they belong to the Indian origin. All of them, they are mostly outside India only, that is the foreign painters, what I think. I'm not sure enough, but I think so. But here in this case, we all these all are your Indian painters which are there. Okay, so you can just try to remember these things. That is, if the question is asking for name of the foreign painters or the name of the Indian painters, so please try to remember them. Please try to have the skills to distinguish between both the painters, whether it is a foreign or a Indian painter. Starting with the very first one, we have here is your Amrita Shergill. Okay, if you remember, this is there. Okay, in the crossword grid from here up to this entire last line, Amrita Shergill. Okay, next we have here is, that is your Jamini Roy. Okay, so Jamini Roy is somewhere, let me see where it is. Okay, not able to find, you try to find it out. Okay, Jamini Roy is here. Okay, Jamini Roy from here, the last third line. Okay, so most probably, I hope she is a female, but no idea. Okay, so basically this is your second Indian painter, that is your Jamini Roy. Moving ahead with the next one, we have MF Hussain, that is, he is one of the famous painters of India, as we have came across a lot of paintings made by him, as well as in the news and the newspapers as well. So MF Hussain, when we are talking about, so where is he? Let us find it out. MF Hussain. Okay, where? No. Not in this way. Okay, please try to find it out. Okay, no problem with this. I'm helping you to just fill it. You try to find it out. You'll be able to find it out. It will be little bit time consuming, but it will be putting some pressure on your brains as well. Okay, so MF Hussain. Okay, the next one. Moving ahead with the next one we have here, that is your Nandlal Bose. Okay, who is the next Indian painter. Apart from this, next we have, that is your Anjali Elamanan. Okay, or Anjali Lamanan. Okay, I hope this is the two different words are there. Anjali and Elamanan. Okay, this one I don't think you'll be able to find it in one complete only. Okay, because this is a long word. Try to find it out. Okay, the very first one only. Okay, Anjali Lamanan or Anjali Elamanan. Okay, moving ahead, we have here Jatin Das. The next one. Okay, here it is, Jatin Das, famous. Okay, then we go ahead with this. So we have the next one, that is your Manjeet Bawa. Okay, so Manjeet Bawa is here. Manjeet. Where is he? Try to find it out. Okay. So this was there for this page number. Moving ahead with the fact think box. We don't have any fact file here. Do you think a painting can speak more than 1,000 words? Give reasons for your answer. Right, absolutely right here. If you remember one more thing, that is in the last class we have discussed about the science and technology. So I have told you about one of the models that was related to your structure of atom. Okay. So if you see here in this case, if you remember, this was there. Okay, so this is one of the pictures which is representing just few things, but if you go on explaining this part, so this is going to be not less than 100 to 200 words. Okay, just few these circles, nucleus, K element, all these things, protons, neutrons, as well as the electrons, they are going to be having the explanation not less than 200 or 150 words. So this is the meaning basically, that is the pictures, they are able to tell you about much more things. That is, pictures are basically what you can say is that representation of long explanations in pictorial form. Just like you have the bar graphs are there, or the graphs is there. So remember always, that is when we are talking about the graph. So graphs are also basically the pictures only, in which we are able to help it out, or in which we are basically able to draw some of the conclusions, or we are able to represent data which is very very large enough, but still we are able to summarize it up, we are able to put it in a very small portion of that figure. Okay, just like if you are habitual of reading the newspapers, so at the 5th or the 6th page you will be able to find that we are having a voting section is there. A circular graph, that is the pictograph is represented, pictograph or pie graph, whatever it is, and in that graph basically the people who are, one of the topics is being mentioned, and either people agree or disagree with that topic. Okay, and that entire population, that is all those peoples, that is 100,000, even 2, 3, 10, whatever may be the number of people, but that entire number of people is represented only by that small circle, which is having only two things, that is the number of people who are completely agreeing or who completely agree with that topic, and secondly the number of people who do not agree with that mentioned topic for that day. Okay, moving ahead with this was our page number 45. Now we are going to start with page number 51. Okay, so when we are going ahead with this page number 51, okay, I hope this is your page number 51. That is the colorful language basically here. So in the case of colorful language, when we are talking about, okay, so you can add color to your language by using some of these phrases. Match these color phrases with their meanings. That is, whenever we are having a conversation with anyone, mostly you'll be able to find it much more when in the case of your English classes or used by your English teachers. That is, they are much more habitual of these phrases as compared to other persons, but still it can be used by each and everyone, those who want to improve their languages, or they want to impress anyone, or they want to increase their vocabulary or make their language much more interesting as well as special. Okay, just by using these phrases. You can add color to your language by using some of these phrases, match these color phrases with their meanings. Okay, so starting with the first one, once in a blue moon. When we are talking about once in a blue moon, so I would like to tell you the Hindi meaning also, some of which I know. Okay, so in the case of once in a blue moon, we used to, in Hindi we normally used to say that Eid ka chand. Okay, so kabhi kabhi jab aap class mein dekhte ho ki the student who is not coming to the school regularly, that is is being absent for a number of days, so we generally used to say that is Eid ke chand ho gaye ho, kahan the itne din tak. Okay, so instead of telling all these things, okay, we can say that you are like once in a blue moon. Okay, so this can be used in place of that. So in this way, not only your English is going to be improved, but I think your language is also going to be improved. All right, so this once in a blue moon means, that is your J part. Okay, that is occurring infrequently. Infrequently, if you remember, so here I would like to say you here, that is infrequently is a word, little bit English part which all of you know, but let me explain you this part again. Okay, so this infrequently, when we are talking about, okay, this is the word here. Okay, so if you talk about all these three things, that is infrequently is basically made by these three words. Okay, out of which these two are the words which are used as prefix and suffix, whereas this frequent word is the root word. Okay, so this in is attached to this frequent word before it, so that becomes prefix here, whereas ly, that is li, is attached at the end of this root word frequent, so that becomes suffix here. So in is the prefix here, li is the suffix here, and frequent is the root word here. So in this way you are able to find it out, that is prefix, suffix and the root word, and together it becomes your infrequent. Okay, or infrequently. Okay, that is not occurring frequently. Okay, moving ahead with the next one, we have greenhorn, that is your beginner or trainee. Okay, that is whenever someone is starting anything, a business or education or anything like that, so that is considered to be a greenhorn. Okay, a beginner or a trainee, just like the small children when they start their education by going to the play groups or LKG or UKG, so they can be considered to be a greenhorn. Okay, in brown study, okay, that is the number 3. So we have description of being in deep thought, that is someone who is continuously thinking about something, or always lost in some or the other memories, or continuously lost in some of their own thoughts, whatever it is. Okay, so gray mood, that is unhappy mood. Okay, so normally ये हम लोग यूज भी करते हैं अपने कन्वर्सेशंस में, that is क्या बात है आज खुश नहीं दिखाई दे रहे हो. Okay, so in place of that we can say that why are you having a gray mood today. Okay, so this can be used. Moving ahead, that is seeing red, ये तो हम लोग जानते भी हैं. ठीक है, आग बबूला होना, ठीक है, या फिर लाल होना. ठीक है, लाल पीला होना, हम लोग जनरली हम कहते हैं इसे लाल पीला होना. Okay, so basically that is the meaning is that that is in a very angry mood, that is to be very angry, either due to some of the reasons. तो देखिए बेसिकली यहाँ पे मीनिंग क्या है कि व्हेन वी आर यूजिंग द प्रोवर्ब्स बेसिकली, सो इट गिव्स अ लिटिल बिट इम्पैक्ट related to the same thing but in an indirect way. Okay, now what is this indirect way which I am talking about? So when I am talking about the indirect way, so basically I am talking about like जैसे आप देखे होंगे कॉपीज में आपके वर्क कंप्लीट नहीं होते हैं. Okay, so we used to write instead of writing incomplete work, we used to write complete your work. So incomplete work, complete your work, meaning is same, but when you read it, okay, the impression which is created is something different. इनकम्प्लीट वर्क, ओके, या फिर पुअर वर्क, ठीक है. इस तरीके से जब हम लोग लिखते हैं, ठीक है, टीचर्स लिखते हैं, सो द स्टूडेंट्स यूज टू गेट डीमोरलाइज. ठीक है, कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है सबकी हैंडराइटिंग अच्छी हो, कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है ईच एंड एवरी वन इज अ ब्रिलियंट चाइल्ड. ओके, so when we use the remarks, okay, these remarks are written in such a way so that it does not hurts the student, but it is going to motivate the students. So in place of poor handwriting, we write improve your handwriting. So this is little bit, this is also negative, but this is from the positive side. That is, we are insisting on your handwriting. हम लोग आपके बारे में सोच रहे हैं. We are thinking about your handwriting. We wanted to get it improved. So instead of writing poor handwriting, we used to say improve your handwriting. Okay, moving ahead with this. In the pink, so we have here that is in good health. Born to purple, that is you're born to be a noble or a royal family. Just like if you remember, or today we are going to discuss also Mukesh Ambani, or your one of the Ambani's family has that is the son of Ambani has given basically her female counterpart has given birth to a young man, that is your Ambani has become the grandfather now. Okay, I hope it will be there in the current affairs as well. Next one, we have white flag, that is related to peace or something, signal for peaceful surrender. Okay, you must have seen in the movies as well, or whenever there is a war, so the opponent team, if it is not able to fight for a longer period of time, so they used to show this white flag, which shows that now we want to surrender, we don't want any war now, or we don't want any fight now. Black day, so this black day is considered to be a bad day. Okay, yellow bellied, that is a cowardly manner. Okay, cowardly basically means your darpoke. Okay, remember it. Moving ahead with the fact file. Okay, the phrase mad as a hatter refers to the somebody who is crazy, while hatter refers to the Mad Hatter character in Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. Its origin comes from the mercury poisoning common during the 18th and 19th century from the mercurous nitrate that manufacturers used in felt hats then. Okay, next one, think box. Each of you can look for 3 more colorful phrases and make sentences using them. Tell the class your sentences and let them guess the meaning of these phrases. This you can do it. I request you to please try to form the sentences. 10 are there. Try to form at least, use any 5 of these phrases. Try to make the sentences by using any of these 5 phrases, and at the same time try to get it corrected by your English teacher. Okay, and see how much you are able to use it. So this will be a little bit practice from your sentence point of view as well. Okay, moving ahead, so this was there. Okay, I hope now the time is there. 23 minutes, 24 minutes has been already about to passed just now. So let us continue with our current affairs, and thereafter I'll be giving you the time to solve the questions. Okay, so let us have the current affairs now. So today we have done these 2 page numbers, that is your page number 45 and 51. I hope it is visible to everyone. Still, I'm just increasing the size so that you are able to observe it clearly. Okay. the very first one we have, that is Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. If you remember, just now the Joe Biden is the Prime Minister, the President of USA, newly elected President just after your Donald Trump, and Kamala Harris has also been appointed as, I don't remember her post, but she is also the Vice President, the Vice President Kamala Harris. She has been also elected as the Vice President by a majority of votes for continuously. I hope this is her second round or second tenure for becoming the Vice President. So both these persons, that is your Joe Biden and your Kamala Harris, named the Time Person of the Year 2020. Okay. So both these persons, they have been named as Person of the Year 2020 by Time magazine. Okay. If you remember, Times of India is the newspaper which publishes a magazine which is known as Time magazine. So Biden and Harris got featured in top 10 most tweeted people about people globally, wherein Biden fetched the second spot and Harris was on the 10th position, the only woman in the list. Okay. India, Myanmar, 5th bilateral meeting held on drug control cooperation. Okay. Now see, please, there is a little bit of information which I would like to say on this word in order to be on a safer side. Okay. This word drug. Okay. When we are talking about this word drug here, so remember class, that is, please use this word carefully. Okay. Especially when you are into any kind of your police stations or in front of the cops or anyone like that. Okay. Why? Because remember here, that is, drugs are being used for the terms related to medicines as well, and drugs are some other chemicals also which come into your narcotics department as well. Okay, so it is better to use the word medicines in place of drugs. Okay, if you want to specify that, and if you want to use drugs, okay, as a word there, so please make sure that it is that same drug which is people are consuming, which is you can say just like your alcohol, cigarettes, tobacco and everything, just like that also, it is also one of the materials here. Okay, starting with this. So India and Myanmar on December 10th held the 5th bilateral meeting on drug control cooperation virtually. The meeting was held between the Central Committee on Drug Abuse Control of Myanmar and NCB, that is your Narcotics Control Bureau of India. Indian delegation was led by Director General of Narcotics Control Bureau, Rakesh Asthana. Okay. Moving ahead with the next one, we have Israel Morocco peace deal. Okay, Morocco normalizes relations with Israel. Morocco, it has done this thing with the help of the United States. With this, Morocco has become the 4th Arab nation to reach the peace deal with Israel this year. Okay, the information was shared by the US President Donald Trump on Twitter. Moving ahead with the next one, that is your Madagascar to host the Indian Ocean Island Games 2023. I hope it is much more far away, but still the announcement has came quite earlier. So this Madagascar replaces Maldives to host the Indian Ocean Island Games 2023. Maldives requested the organizers to push back the tournament from 23 to 2025. However, the organizers decided to prevent the gap of 6 years between the edition of games. The event was scheduled to be held in 2019. However, due to ongoing pandemic, the organizers postponed the games to 2023. Moving ahead, the last one, I hope. Honorable PM Narendra Modi, Uzbek President Shaukat Mirziyoyev, okay, hold the first summit on December 11, 2020, virtually to discuss the bilateral cooperation between both the nations. This was the first ever virtual bilateral summit between India and Uzbekistan. Okay, now it's time for the questions here. So these are the questions. Either you have the picture of this or you take this screenshot, but do it as quickly as possible, as we are about to, the time is about to be over. So just 15 seconds for you. Please try to click the picture or take the screenshot or whatever you feel like. Please do it as soon as possible. Tomorrow I'll be providing you the solution of all these three questions just after the query session will be over, that after 12:30. And I request you to have maximum participation. If you don't know, please do ask. If you know, please do solve it. Okay. The third question is also related to your simplification only. This is your third question. This is the second one. And this is the first one. Here it is the same question as I have given you the last time. Okay. Please do not forget that is $Q. Here dollar sign is representing divide. Hash, subtract, percentage, add, at the rate, multiply. So whatever the signs are there, just put all these operations and solve it out by the simplification rule, that is using BODMAS. I hope this much hint is more than enough for you. Okay. So I hope all of you would have taken the picture or the screenshot. Okay. So this was all for today. Thanks a lot for being with me, and please don't forget to take all the necessary precautions, and at the same time please don't forget to solve these questions. It is my humble request from each and every one of you to have maximum participation with this. So this was all for today. Thanks a lot for being with me and have a superb day ahead. Thank you.